11, 12. Hello, Billy. I just played your tape to Grandmother and Granddad. I'm down at their house now, and I'm going to let them record some to you so you can hear their voice again. It's been quite some time since you've heard their voice.
Hello, Bill. This is Gran. Thought I'd say a few words to you so you can hear me once again. I'm not able to do any fishing, son, or anything like that, but I can sit around the house if I got a good chair to sit in. Pretty comfortable. I want to be glad when you and Lee May comes home. We want to see both of you, and I know we'll learn to love her, your wife, and welcome her as one of the family when you get here. So this is about all I know to say, so I want to say goodbye. I appreciate all your prayers, son, because I need them. I need lots of people to pray for me for a while. So anything y'all can pray for me will be greatly appreciated. And we'll see y'all when you come home, and be a good boy, and you and Lee May will be welcome home. Again, just like she will, just like you, son. So I'm gonna say bye-bye.
Congratulations, Bill Boy and Lee May. I hear y'all gotten married. Grandmother's happy for y'all, and I know you're happy too, honey. And we're anxious for both of you to come home. And I'm sure you'll be glad when you do get to come, and we'll see Lee May and you too, hon. We appreciate your prayers, darling. We're glad you and Lee May can go to church and go every time you can. Teach her all about what we worship and our religion. She'll soon learn to be just like we are, learn to love the Lord and trust in Him and live for Him. And we're thinking about something for your wedding gift, and we'll wait, though, until y'all get home so we can see what you need and want most of all. But you all do be sweet, and we're thinking about you, and Gran's feeling better. He's not feeling good yet, and he's not strong at all, but then he's feeling some better, and he's anxious for y'all to get home too, of course. And like he said, he won't be able to take Lee May fishing, but you can, and y'all can get out in the boat and just have a good time, we hope, if you're home long enough, and we hope you're here several days. But you all be sweet, and Grandmother and Gran's thinking about you and praying for you and hoping you'll soon be home. Daddy's down here today and played the tapes for us, and we sure are glad to hear them. Aunt Lottie's here with us. She come when Gran's in the hospital, and she thinks she's going home tomorrow, but she stayed with us while Gran was in the hospital, and since he's been here at home not feeling well, but he's able to be up now part of the time and sits out in the yard some. And I took him yesterday and got his hair cut, and he's feeling much better, but then he's just not strong yet, but maybe he will be for too long. But you babies be sweet. We love you, and y'all hurry and come home. We'll be anxious to see you, and I'll say bye-bye for now. God bless you.
Hello, Bill and Lee May. This is your Aunt Lottie, and congratulations to you. I'm proud for you, honey, both of you. But there's one thing I wish you was here this morning. There ain't nobody carrying me a fishing, and Bill, you would, I know. So I've been down here so long, never get to go fishing, but come on down and take Aunt Lottie fishing. You know that's what we facing like, fishing. So as soon as you all can, come home. Maybe I'll be back. Be sweet now, and come when you can. I love you, Aunt Lottie.
Hi, Lee May and Billy. This is Mom. Daddy took the tape down to Grandmother's to let them hear the one about your wedding. You know, the tape you made on the 26th. And I don't know what all they said to you because I just played back just enough to see where to start on the tape. But Daddy brought the tape recorder back last night. And then we got a tape from you today. Daddy hadn't heard it yet, but I had just had to listen to it. When Daddy gets home, well, he'll listen to it too. Charles got his got into school and got his schedule changed so that he gets out of school at 2:15. He's had to drop physical education, but he's taken, let's see, physical science and geometry, typing 2, and the high English class, which he hates because he has to write poetry or plays or stories. And of course, he has absolutely no talent at all for any of it because he took after Daddy, and he doesn't have the imagination that you and I and Alita have. And let me see, he has one other subject, but I forgot now what it was. Oh yeah, drafting. He has 5 subjects, so he had to drop his physical education class so that he could get out 2:15. And as soon as he's 15 then, well, we've got to help him get his $100 for his insurance, and then he's going to pay his own $10.50 to get his license, you know. And he's had a time, though. He keeps having to buy spark plugs. Remember how your spark plugs, you used to have to buy them all the time? Well, he is too. Oh, Lee May, don't worry. I'm afraid of water too. That's all right. Our husbands will be daredevils, and we'll just sit on the bank and watch them, because I don't like to get out in the water either like that, and not over my head. And two, Billy's always been sick at his stomach, always, so don't worry about it. He gets over it in a hurry. When he gets home, he'll probably be sick again. We'll have to put him to bed. Well, I heard Dad just now come in. He'll want to hear the tape and talk to you too, so I'll wait until we hear the tape again. Bye-bye. Okay, I just played the tape for Daddy. Now then, when she was in the boat and you turned the boat sideways against the waves so it'd push you on into the shore, what happened to her? You never did tell us. And we're waiting on the next installment, you know, like a serial on television. We want to know what happens next, so be sure and put that into your next tape. What happened to Lee May when this wave came up high and you turned the boat sideways? Here's Dad.
Hi, Bill and Lee May. We sure were glad to get your tape. We'd been waiting and waiting to hear from you. You told us on the other tape you was going to try to send us one about every other day while Mother was sick, and we looked for a tape and looked for one, watched the postman when he came, no tape. So we figured you'd been pretty busy. Lee May, we sure enjoyed you talking on the tape. You're just doing all the good. We can tell how much you have advanced in your speaking every time we get a tape. Seems like you're getting better by the day. And you just keep talking to us on the tape and listening to our tapes, and it won't be long before you'll talk just as well as we do, which is not very good. We're really looking forward to both of you getting home, and getting to see you, and getting to visit with you. We just can't wait for the days to pass for y'all to get home. And Lee May, we love you just like we do Billy, because you're his wife and you're our daughter now. So don't you worry about anything. When you get over here, you're going to be at home. And this will be just like your own home when you get to our house, because it will be part of yours then. So we're looking forward to you coming too. Of course, old Billy, we're always glad to have him at home. All of our family, each one of our children, we love to have each one of them at home and enjoy them immensely. Oh, while I'm thinking about Bill, Lee May, I'll tell you what's causing Billy's stomach to cramp and hurt. It's all these bills coming in that he has to pay. I know, because I get them every month. In fact, all my check goes out for bills every month. So I know how he feels there. And you'll just have to get used to it, Bubba. I was down to see Grandmother and Granddad this week, and they're doing pretty good. I spent the night with them. And Gran looks awful bad. But he just, when he was in the hospital, he just wouldn't eat anything, and he lost more weight, and it made him look bad. But the night I was there, we had some chicken and rice, and boy, he ate 3 helpings of that rice. He really ate a good meal. So if he'll keep eating, why, he'll gain his weight back. And that's the main reason he looks so bad. He's just so skinny until there's just nothing there but skin and bone. But he's eating now, and I imagine he's going to gain his weight back. We're getting ready to eat dinner today. And Billy, we're having peas and cornbread and onions. Lee May won't know what that is, but, well, we enjoy it. And if I remember right, you kind of enjoyed those peas and cornbread. You probably won't enjoy them as much when you get home because you're not used to eating stuff like that over there. But you're just going to have to change your ways and go back to eating this old American food here, boy. Oh, Miss Donnie, hi. Well, I think she said a few words on the tape here. But she says she couldn't understand how you and Lee May got together. Says she spoke Chinese and Billy spoke English. Says, how did they ever get together? I told him, I said, well, you know Billy, he has ways. Lee Mae, we can't wait for you to get home. Mama's got big plans for you. She said she's going to take you down just as soon as you got home, going to take you on a shopping spree and go to the store and buy you a dress and everything and just and get your picture made. She's going to treat you just like she does Billy's big sister, Alita. And she comes home while Mama takes her down to the store and goes shopping with her. And you're our daughter just like Alita is, so you're going to get the same treatment. We're going to love you just like we do the other kids. So you remember that when you come home, and don't be afraid to come over here because we're looking forward to you with very much anxiety to you getting here.
Billy, you help explain this to Lee Mae because I'm not sure that I'd use the same words that she's familiar with, but when Alita and George got married, well, all the time they were going together, well, every time George would come over, he'd spill a glass of tea. Every time. Seemed like we'd sit down to eat, George spilled his glass of tea. I'd say, that's all right, George. Never mind, I'll give you some more tea and I'll clean it up. And then one day, while Charles or Billy or Dawn or some of them spilled the tea, and oh, I went all to pieces and just screamed and hollered and bawled them out. And then George spilled his the next time. I said, it's all right, George. So after they got married, well, George spilled his tea again, and I screamed and hollered at him, and he says, oh, at last I'm finally one member of the family, just like everybody else. So if I have to, I'll scream at you, Lee Mae, so you'll know you're one of the family, because I'll probably scream at Billy. So Billy, explain that to her now so she won't get mad at me. First time I holler at her, she'll know she's just one of the family.
Oh, Billy, I was coming in off my run yesterday, coming from Henderson to Tyler. And boy, I heard the most terrible racket you ever heard. Sounded like the whole front end of the car was coming out. And looked back in my rearview mirror, I saw a little piece that had come off. And so I turned around, went back, picked it up, see what I'd lost. And I couldn't figure out what it was. So I come on into Tyler and went down to the Ford place and pulled in there and showed him this little piece. And it was part of the fan, you know, in the front of the car there. And part of the fan had broken off, and of course it was vibrating. The front was vibrating when I was coming in. And I had to have a new fan and a new, that guard that goes around the fan put on there. It had broken the guard when the part of the fan flew off. And this fan is made in two pieces, and one's a real thin piece right on the edge of it. And two of the blades had thrown those thin parts of the blade off. Boy, it was a noise, let me tell you. Well, Lita, oh boy, I'm shook up again. Dawn and Charles started school yesterday. They went out to school, and Charles got off at 2 o'clock because he goes to work, supposed to be there at 4, and Mother went out and picked him up. She's not supposed to be driving, but she did. And she went out and picked him up and brought him to work. But they found out their subjects they were taking, and we had to buy their school supplies and everything, you know, like when you were in school. And boy, it's going into the money now with Charles. Just his, I forget what to call it now. His school fees, just before he starts or anything, this is just fees come to over $10. And then we've got to buy the supplies. We've got most of their school supplies now. Of course, I had to buy Dawn a new lunch pail to carry her lunch in. We bought that, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago, though. But we're getting them all ready to get started and everything. And I think they're kind of excited. They said they hated for school to start, but I think they're kind of excited once it started because they're seeing all their old friends again and everything, and they'll get back in the swing of it. Charles is, I don't remember where we told you not about Charles's other job at United Dollar. Woman told him that she's going to give him an ultimatum, said he either had to work one place or the other. Said he wasn't going to work at both places and work for her. So she was pretty rough anyway and hard to get along with. So Charles asked me about it. I told him it was his job and he was going to have to make up his own mind on it. So he decided to go back to A&W. Mike, the one that owns it over there, told him he'd give him a raise and let him work all the hours he wanted to. So he decided to go back to A&W, and I'm kind of glad he did because he'll be better satisfied there and won't be as far to go, you know, to ride his motorcycle to work. And also, he's a cook now. He's doing the cooking over there. Can you believe that? Your little brother a cook? Last week, I went over to pick him up from work, and he come out there with a big old can in his hand and had his other hand sticking down in it. I asked him what had happened, and he had stuck his hand down in the grease and burned his hand. He didn't burn it bad, but he found out what that grease will do for him anyway. That'll teach him to be a little bit more careful. He wasn't paying attention to what he's doing, I don't think, and he stuck his hand down in the deep fryer. But it was all right. It just blistered a little place all about the size of a quarter, I guess, on his hand, on his finger, rather. And he's all right now. Maybe that's a good thing, though. We may have told you already before, Charles may have a mother or something, but anyway, I'll tell you, he had him a little accident on his motorcycle down here in the woods. He was going down through there, and he got pretty confident on he could ride it pretty good and everything, and he was going down the dirt road there and going, we got some dips down there in it, and he was going just a little bit too fast, and he hit one of those dips, and I think it threw him off his motorcycle. He never has told us exactly how it happened, but anyway, he bent his back fender a little bit and broke the reflector off his tail light, and he had to buy, I think it cost him $5 and something, or around $5 for a new reflector for his tail light, and he had to spend that out of his own money. So I think he'll be a little bit more careful with his motorcycle now. He sees that thing can get right on top of you if you don't watch it. He has to ride it down in the woods, though, and on the dirt road back down behind the house, because he doesn't have his license yet, and he can't get out on the streets until he gets his license. So he's been good about it. He doesn't get out on the streets at all. He just rides back down beside the house here and goes down in the woods and rides back and forth on that trail or little old dirt road down there and rides up through the trails and everything. But he puts in the time riding it, though. Man, he hits that motorcycle by the time he gets home, and he rides till it's time for him to go to work. And then in the mornings, why, now he hadn't since he started to school, but before, he'd get up in the morning, and the first thing after he ate his breakfast, why, he'd head for that motorcycle, and he'd ride it until time to come in then. So he's getting a lot of practice on it, and he'll get to go down and take his test the 28th, or when I can get free to take him down there. Sure wish you were here, Bill, so you could ride his his motorcycle down for him, because we're going to have to figure out a way to get it down there for him to take his test. You know where the driver's license bureau is, over on the other side of town on Glenwood Street? We got to figure a way to get it over there. It's going to be, I don't know how to get it in the station rather than not. But I'll have to drive along behind him when he takes his test. But we've got to get the bicycle over there some way. Hurry up and come on home so you can get here in time to help me cut down some trees in the backyard. I've got some trees right in the front of one of the entrances to the carport. By the way, I don't know whether we told you about that or not, but I've almost got our carport finished back here. I just like a little bit on one side of it. I got the roof on and everything, and got the side next to the house all finished and the back finished. And the side next to the woods, I like a little bit on it. Then I've got to cut these trees. But we got a nice carport back down now. It's 20 foot by 20 foot. It's for 2 cars. And it's going to have some storage back there and everything. So, see, I've been pretty busy since Mama's been sick.
Okay, I got dinner on the table. Cornbread's almost done. What kind of stove does Lee make? Lee, what kind of stove do you have over there that you cook on? Do you have pots and pans over there, or do you just get them with the apartment or house that Billy and you have rented? I just wonder about all those things. I heard you cooking one time on one of the tapes, but I never did know whether your stoves were like ours or not. Mine's electric, run by electricity like the lights. And I hope maybe, about the middle of September, just before y'all get ready to start home, that I can get in and clean the house up. I've got fingerprints all over the doors that have got to be Windex and floors that, I'll probably never get them clean again. And rugs to be swept. Are y'all going to send your rug home? By the way, what time is that? What time will I start looking for the things, to be here to wait for them whenever you start sending them home? I wonder how long it'll take to get them here. Are you having everything sent to this address here? Or are you having some of them sent to Utah or what? I didn't really understand all that. Oh, by the way, you remember school lunches used to be 35 cents. This year they've gone up to 40 cents now. Remember they were 35 when you went to school out there, and I gave Charles money for 2.5 weeks of lunches at 35 cents a day, and then went out there and they were 40, and so I had to turn around and put another nickel a day in with it, just to show you how his money went. He pays me 10% of what he makes, so he made almost $26, so he paid me $2.50, and I turned around and spent, And so his $2.50 didn't go very far. I think he realized then that he'd rather pay the $2.50 than had to pay for his field. Because I think he must still be making 85 cents an hour, but I don't imagine he make more than $1 an hour anyway, even when he gets his raise. But it's still better than having to go clear over there on Forest and Irwin, because that was clear across town. I was a little afraid we were riding that motorcycle clear through town, so I was kind of glad that he gave up that job at the United Dollar Store. This one, she's straight out Glenwood, you know, till you come to, what is it, Vine Street out there where that A&W root beer is. So he won't have to get off of 5th Street. You know, he can just ride his motor. Of course, that's going to be dangerous because that's, you know, like a highway. It is a highway, I guess. Okay, we'll go eat dinner again. Daddy says, take the cornbread out of the oven, pour it into his plate because it wasn't done yet. So I think he's sitting over there eating cantaloupe. Y'all get cantaloupe or fresh fruit over there? About eating it over here, it'll give you diarrhea, you know, when you're not used to it. Well, I guess that's all for right now. We'll think of something else in a little while. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, before I forget it, I've already called James. They've moved out on Lavender Road, somewhere on the other side of town. And they already know that when you'll be home and everything, so they'll probably come over some night while you're here. I don't think he and Ginger are still getting along too well.
Oh, Billy, you were talking about your money going so fast and everything. I laughed at Charles. He had saved up, I think he had about $50 to buy him some clothes with. So we went down to Myron Smith's and downstairs, and he bought him a nice-looking pair of shoes down there for $12. And we went on over to Joyner Fry. They had a sale on over there, and he bought him some trousers and some shirts. And went up to pay for them while she added it all up. It come to $37 and something. Anyway, altogether, it come to $49 and some odd cents just for those. He said, boy, I said, that money sure went in a hurry. I said, yeah, it does every time. I said, when you start buying clothes and things, it doesn't take long for it to go. He said, well, just a little while ago I had $50. He said, now I got just a few cents. So we had to go someplace else. I don't remember where it was then, but he says, oh, we went to the grocery store before we come home to pick up something. He said, be sitting out the car, Dad. You know, I got all those clothes in there. And said, I sure would hate to lose all those. That's the first time he'd ever said anything about locking the car.
This Saturday at 7 o'clock, Valerie and Alan get married, so we're supposed to go to her wedding. That's when I went to get my hair fixed. She said, are you coming to my wedding? You're going to be there? And I told her, well, we were going to try to. So they're expecting us to be over there, and oh, they had a whole living room full of gifts. You just can't imagine what all they got. And they had to go through and sort out what they were going to take with them, what they were going to store away there at their mother, at Mr. and Miss Sedford's house. So Alan took a load down to Waco where they're going to live, and Valerie already has a job on campus in one of the beauty shops, and I think they already have their apartment. Well, I'm sure they do, and they just got everything worked out just fine. And so they both been going to church regular together, and seems like the Lord's really blessed them. Everything's just worked out so good, and she seems to have a good job, and they're just real happy. So Miss Juanita, who's going to take off a week afterwards, she's so lonesome for Valerie that she don't think she can stand in that beauty shop, so I think she's going to stand in tone with Lucille, Ronnie's mother. By the way, Ronnie had to stay longer over in Germany than, he was expecting to get to come home about the middle of this summer, and they've extended his time for some more months over there for some reason. And there's this little Sue, I don't know her, I don't guess, but they tell me I do, but anyway, she's the one that's sweet on Ronnie. They said that she's already decided in her mind that she's going to marry that Ronnie when he comes home. I said, well, does Ronnie know? They said, we don't know because Ronnie hadn't said anything about it. So I don't know. All of y'all may have gotten married this year. He may have come home with him a Fräulein. Well, let's see. What else can we talk about now? Don't know yet. We'll think of something and let Charles and Dawn talk to you, so we'll sign off for right now. We forgot to tell you what date it is. This is Friday the 18th of August.
Well, Betty, this is Charlie again. Home from school, fixing to go to work. Just got in from riding my motor. I've been out riding it about 15 minutes, and I'm enjoying it, thoroughly enjoying it. And it just don't seem like I can wait till the 28th of August so I can get my license. Well, that just seemed like an eternity away. But I guess it was the same with you. And I tell you what, my money, boy, it's got more places to go than I've got money to go there. And but it's working out pretty good. Mike's over there, he's getting pretty low on his help, and so had me out trying to find him some good working help, and it's been going along pretty good though. And so yeah, as you probably already heard, I'm the cook over there now. I'm cooking away over there, and there's a lot more to cooking than what I was doing, but I like cooking better really. And I get in quite a few good hours. Like I've worked every night this week so far, and that's gonna give me some pretty good hours. And like you probably already heard, I busted the back tail light on my motor. Had to fix that, and it cost me $5 to have that fixed. And yeah, your little brother is clumsy like you were, and it's something else. Yeah, I didn't mind like you didn't mind. So that's the way it happens. But man, I tell you what, it's just there it is, just about 9 days away till I get my no, excuse me, 10 days away till I get my license. I'm so eager to get it, it's pitiful. But everything's been going pretty good. How you getting along today, mate? You doing alright? I tell you what, don't let Billy boss you around, because he always tried to boss his little brother around. He did a pretty good job of it too, since he was so much bigger than I was. But Billy's a pretty nice guy once you get to know him. Imagine y'all get along real good. He and I have our spats every once in a while, of course. We can't be together too long without having an argument. And but that's the way all brothers are over here. Most of the time they're fighting, and the time they're not fighting, they're doing something they're not supposed to. Well, I see I better be going about now, because got to be getting to work pretty soon. Mom wanted me to finish the tape up, though, or try to finish the tape, but I hadn't got that much wind in me to finish that much tape. So I'm just trying to talk it down a little bit where somebody else can go ahead and finish it. I tell you, well, I better be going now. It's getting late as usual. I got to work till probably 1 or 2 o'clock tonight, because we don't close until 12 o'clock, and man, I got a cleanup that just won't quit. And I'll be working on that cleanup tonight. And I'm not sure if there's supposed to be another cook. There's supposed to be 2 cooks tonight or not. If there is, I'll have some help on my cleanup. But if there's not, I'll be doing the cleanup all by my lonesome. And but it's worth it. I like working up there, and I like that money rolling in. I've got to pay for my motor, and everything, boys. Just it's nice to have a little extra money in my pocket whenever I need it. Well, I better be letting you go now. I'll talk to you later. Take it easy now. We'll see.
Okay, here's the way your wedding announcement will read, something similar to this. Mr. and Mrs. W.C. Faison announced the marriage of their son, Airman First Class Billy Lester Faison of the U.S. Air Force, to Li Mei Su of Taipei, Taiwan, at high noon on the 26th of July, 1972, in Taipei, Taiwan. How's that sound? Daddy's mailing them to grandmother, and Mrs. Bradley's supposed to print them up for us, print us up 200, and grandmother's going to have about 100 to send out, and then we'll have about 100 for our side of the family and what you and Lee May, want to send out. Grandmother's got more relatives than we have. And then when they get these announcements, they're supposed to send you a gift. Now, not all of them will do it, but maybe you'll get 50 gifts out of the 200 anyway. Sure, Lee May brings the addresses of all of her relatives that she wants, to have these, and then we'll have to send these out. I don't know how much it costs to send to Taipei, so, to Taiwan, because all of ours, have gone through the Air Force. But anyway, and it's something else. I figured out why your lizards left. The big ones didn't get enough to eat, so they left you a little one. They produced you a little one. They said, now, son, you stay here because they need you here. They'd miss you. But they just don't have enough food around here for we two, so there'll be enough for you because you're little. But you stay close to the kitchen now so you can get plenty to eat. That's what happened to your lizard. Charles nearly flipped his lid when he found out it was going to cost around $50 to get your all's marriage announcements printed and then the postage to mail them out. He couldn't believe it, and we told him, well, the Lord willing, we'd try to do it for him when he got married, too. But he nearly fell over. Daddy's taking Charles to work now and going to mail the mail, so I guess the tape's just about run out. It looks like it. I don't know whether it is or not. But anyway, I'll keep on talking till I run out and leave you up on a wave like you did us in your tape, I guess. Dawn hadn't come in on the school bus yet, but when she comes in, I know she'll want to hear your tape, too. Charles sat here and listened to it. But he seems to be in kind of a blue mood for some reason. I don't know what it is. I guess the girls are not paying attention to him again. You know, he has hard luck with his girlfriends. They just don't seem to like him. I don't know whether he talks about himself too much and bores them or what. I don't know what it is. He's good looking enough, but girls just don't take to him, and I don't know what it is. I hope y'all get to come home on leave for Christmas time so we could all be